Hey guys, welcome to the Ibexx channel. My name is Trevor. Myself and Ren, mainly Ren, are going to be walking you through the installation process of this Polaris RZR Pro R Economy Turbo Kit. It's a fairly simple install. It should take you about 6 to 10 hours depending on how mechanically inclined you are, but it's all pretty easy. Ren's going to show you the routing of the coolant lines for the intercooler, the oil lines, all that stuff. Again, fairly simple, and everything you need is included in the kit, so you shouldn't have to worry about anything. It's all just plug and play, and all the pieces are there. But if you have questions, our phone number is in the description below. Don't hesitate to reach out. But yeah, this is the kit right here. This is the machine they actually do it on. We hope you guys like it and enjoy the video.
Okay, so you're gonna want to get your bed pulled first, your tailpiece, the bed frame, get your manifold off, your plastic, cover over your alternator, remove your air box, the pipe on both sides of the air box as well. The harness, your main harness here, is held on with a metal bracket. We're going to want to remove that so we can relocate this harness a little bit so it doesn't rub on the intercooler. Remove your rear panels so you can access the clutching. Once you're down to the teardown, at this point, then we'll start with reassembly.
Wants my turbo
Spark plugs, we want to gap them somewhere between 18 and 20. So we're going to come in there, we're just under that 20.
Do you guys have very many clutch problems with these new ones yet? Or you guys got them tuned in pretty well? Or are they still kind of...
Sure that rubber gasket's in there too.
Yes, very much so.
I'm sure if they're like a lot of the other ones that design, sometimes they stick to the plate. All right, we live.
Alright, after your turbo is on, your next step is putting your intake silicone in. This piece right here in the U-shape is going to mount right through these two openings. We'll have to move some lines and hoses around a little bit to get it in there and started. That part there will go right to your airbox. This part down here is going to go to the other half of the intake pipe, which is this guy right here. sure those two are pushed together as tight as you can before you tighten up the clamps. Alright, once you have those two mounted up, this end here is going to go to the turbo there, and then you can tighten up that T-bolt and those two clamps there once you have everything situated. Before I put the intercooler into the car, I put your hoses on. Long coolant hose goes on the one that's further back, shorter one goes on the one that's closer. I put the one closer facing down, and I also installed the 90 on it. This is going to go right here. 90 comes in to your throttle body, and then I run the coolant hoses down next to the throttle body through this gap right here. Both your coolant lines come down through there, and then they will come back to the heat exchanger that will mount right here. Alright, so once the intercooler is in place on the throttle body, the next step is going to be your charge pipe. It is going to go on right here. Make sure you go on that side of the wire harness. That goes on there. This side goes on the intercooler. Put your clamps in place and tighten them. Literally have to be. Alright, this upper hose on your coolant bottle comes off. It's the one that runs down to the valve cover. We will remove it because it's going to get replaced with one of our new hoses. Okay, so the hose we unhooked from the coolant bottle, this is going to be what hooks to it. That's going to go up to the coolant bottle. This is going to go to this front side of the turbo with the 90-degree end fitting. It is going to route on here, underneath, and then comes up and goes into that top port on the bottle that we unhooked the other one from. Okay, so it's a good idea to block this off, crimp it off before you unhook it from the bottle. This will feed back and put coolant out. Before we connect the next hose, you need to cut this clamp off and have it ready because we are going to reuse the fitting that goes down into the valve cover. Okay, after having that clamp removed, you're going to want to take this and connect it to the turbo on this line here first. And then if you do this step quickly, you won't make much of a mess. You're going to pull this line off and that line on and tighten it up. The heat exchanger here is going to mount with this bracket and this bracket with 2 hose clamps on the frame here and here.
That valve in here that you think is gonna good right there. And this side, right? Inside. For not get hot and
Yes. Yeah, as long as it clears. The coolant fill and pipe for the heat exchanger goes to that top 90 and it routes around the back side of that and goes up to your cage up here and will mount with a hose clamp on the cage there. You'll have to undo this top corner to allow this to pull out. I don't mount this until after I've filled it with coolant and then I mount it. This is your wire harness for the fan and the water pump. This section here is going to plug into this tail light. So you're going to run this up. This side plugs in here. This side plugs into tail light. We'll zip tie all this up. Zip tie the relay up out of the way. Your first plug is going to plug into the fan. Second plug plugs into the bottom of the water pump that we'll have installed in a minute. Your power wire runs over behind there and ties into the starter. Alright, so your water pump comes with this double mount. You're going to hose clamp it there. Put your short line on there. It is going to go onto the bottom of the heat exchanger. And then once you've got it on all the way, get hose clamps onto the cage. And you want this one pointing this way to connect to these hoses here in just a minute. Okay, your hoses coming off the intercooler come right under the throttle body and out the side there. That one goes to the heat exchanger 90 right here. The bottom one, they come down right there by your pipes that go up to the radiator. And it comes down and goes to the water pump. This hose here that goes from the block to the intake gets removed. That down there is going to go to the catch can. This plug that comes in the kit will plug off the intake side. Alright, this is your catch can. It is going to mount right here, this outside port. Austin's going to take that over. The outside port runs to your valve cover, if you want to show them the valve cover hose right there. That's just the factory hose that came off of the intake tube. It's going to run down, hook onto this outside one. This inside is going to run to this port on the block. We're going to be in your way for just a minute. Alright, this is your drain line, your 90 that's mounted on your drain plate there. This is going to go onto that 90. Up and the 45 mounts to the turbo drain.